They're just your biggest fan, you know?
That's right. All right, I'm going to start it up. Well, that's perfect.
Hey, it's like Martha eating ups. It's okay. Thanks for great podcasting.
I was going to say, are we talking about how many times you... This is a
Everybody just freezes?
Hello! I'm just going to keep talking.
All right, who's with me?
I said it. This is Alil.
And
Chris.
Scotty Smurf.
Chris.
And you guys are out of practice. Lots of news. Lots of stuff broke actually today. Should we, you know what, let's give some social media up front because we would love to get some engagement going here.
Really?
The Twitter
today?
The Twitter account is at @SMG_twig. That stands for This Week in Geek, for those of you like Alil. My Twitter is at @RSouthgate, and you can also find the show where we're always putting new news up just look up This Week in Geek. There you go. Or go to Southgate Media Group, and you can find the links there too. Chris, give your social media.
Absolutely. I can be found at theblueboxcafe.com or Blue Box Cafe or Blue Box Cafe 176 on social media.
And Scotty.
I am on Tumblr and Twitter as Scotty Smurf.
And he has a MySpace page. And how about you, Alil?
Well, you can follow me on Twitter at LOGEEKZ. And anywhere else you want to follow, people who love butter.
Is that your family behind you?
The top.
Yeah, up at the top.
Lower third.
On Google Hangout. This is really interesting to the listener. Yeah, look in the toolbox. Move Scott out of the way.
I typed it in. It's not doing it.
There's a toolbox?
No, you're a toolbox.
Hey,
yeah, in Google, on the left, if you move your mouse, you'll see on the left-hand side, you'll see a toolbox.
How do I get it to work?
So display name, put your name in.
Where it says lower third.
Welcome to the Google Hangout tutorial.
To the right, there's a little slide button, and move it over.
I did.
Did you type it in?
Yeah, it's right.
You did the little slide button at the top?
Yeah, I know.
Not custom other one.
Right, lower third. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, custom overlay the other one.
Right, lower third. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. How have you found it?
It's trying to load up, but yeah, okay, I'll get there.
There was a lot of news today, and here's the problem. There is some kind of weird thing on Joe Blow. Every device I go on, I get these weird pop-ups today. So I can't
go on the wrong website.
What?
You put an S in there.
I did not.
Joe's Blow.
So I can't I can't click on any of these. I can look at the headlines, but I can't click on them right now because for whatever reason I'm getting this issue. But the first thing, the top thing that I know Alil's not going to care about, but I know two other guys that are going to care quite a bit. There was all this Star Trek news that broke.
There's a massive bunch of Star Trek news that broke.
Yeah, so the two showrunners, I don't know if we talked about it on here because I was off for a couple of weeks. Showrunners that took over for Brian Fuller, they're out. It turns out that they were abusive to their writing staff and they were asked to leave. They brought in Kurtzman, who's the guy who's producing the new Star Trek stuff, the movies. So they've got a lot of faith in this guy, and they've given him this massive deal.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah, so he's going to be running everything. Discovery, and then, 5 new properties?
Yeah, 5 other projects here. Hang on, I got to read out of them. One of them is a potential Jean-Luc Picard project with Patrick
in shape. And people at first were like, oh, he's going to be doing an audiobook or whatever. Now it looks like, nope, there actually might be a Jean-Luc Picard series or some type of thing. The thing I read is it might be like a mini series, but when we're talking a mini series, it could be like Defenders. It could be an 8-episode mini series. Hell, I'll take that. I'll take that all day.
So, I mean, here's a great thing. You could have a young Indiana Jones style thing.
He's not in Star Trek, Scott.
If you'll recall, Harrison Ford would narrate the
Jones, welcome. I'm sorry, I was doing my Indiana Jones impression.
You could have Patrick Stewart narrating his memories. There's all his years as captain of the Stargazer that were barely touched upon in the show and a little bit in the novels. But I mean, that's something right there. A limited series of his time on the Stargazer with Patrick Stewart, like narrating, and then like a younger actor playing the young Picard. That would just be
yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
I've also heard that it might be just a sequel to Next Generation. So it's him older. Although Patrick Stewart looks the same.
He's a little aged, but still looks damn good.
Better than Shatner does.
Better than any of us.
Or us.
Yeah.
Picture of us from 20 years ago. It does not look like this.
He hasn't done Jean-Luc Picard since 2002. That's a long time, but he does look very similar. So I think he could pull off whatever he wants. So I think it'd be good. Not good. It'd be great.
Take everything Chris just said and remember his story about meeting Patrick Stewart in the bathroom. And that story with those quotes, and you'll have quite a good time with this episode.
No.
Alil, Mr. Marvel, you didn't watch it?
Nope.
You are wrong. It's fantastic.
I heard it was good. I just haven't got to it yet.
It's really, really good. I think you need to make it a priority. Stop watching some of that other crap you're watching and get on that.
No way, man.
Like
I'm watching reruns of The Office. Friends is fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah. So that would be like a Starfleet Academy show, and then a limited series based Wrath of Khan story, and then
that could be cool. Get that one right.
And then another limited series, and then the animated series. Do you guys remember there was just I don't know, heck, it's been maybe 4 or 5 years ago now. There was like real work done on another animated series that kind of would have been like a micro series online and stuff. It would have been set like in the 25th century or so.
No, I don't remember this.
Yeah, it was called Final Frontier, and it was I think.
Are you sure it wasn't fanfic?
No, it was real because they had a lot of pre-production stuff done, and after it, the networks didn't pick it up. Producers released a lot of that artwork, and great concept stuff there. It just they just didn't get it off the ground. But it was like 25th century, at war with the Romulans, kind of things like that. So,
what kind of style they're going for? Are they doing like an anime type style or?
Yeah, it was not anime, but kind of like Gendy Tarkovsky, so kind of Samurai Jack, maybe.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I want to see some more animated. I actually like the original animated series.
I love it. I love that series.
Yeah, I think it's
a great story. So yeah, that. So 5 different shows, and plus him running Discovery, and. That is big news.
And there have been a lot of rumors, like this Starfleet Academy show, that's been bannered around for a long time. It's interesting. I mean, is that really something they're considering, or is it just kind of floating out there and they're like, hey, it could be one of these things,
Yeah, because that Starfleet Academy, I'm trying to think how far. I think they wanted to do Starfleet Academy at least as far back as around the time of Star Trek IV. So that's like 86.
Yeah.
So that idea has been kicked around for a long time.
Well, I love Trek, so I'm all for this. I know Alil could care. Chris, you love Star Trek.
I love Star Trek. I'm
See, take that, Alil. No reaction from him. He's just sitting there.
I'm just
all right.
Out here with my friend SpiderMan.
All right. Shouldn't he be just a bunch of dust at this point? Oh.
So sad.
Spoilers.
So,
spoilers. It's been like
it's made 200 or it's made a lot of money.
Yeah, it has.
2 point.
We've gone past the point where we have to worry about that.
2.1 billion somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. When every other meme on Facebook involves that, you're already past the point.
Yeah. I started to see that, and I thought it was somebody else based on how it was looking, but Spider-Man. So that sucks. Anyways.
You just found out? I'm sorry, Scott.
It's been a few days, but yeah.
Infinity War is like 2 weeks, maybe 3 away from knocking out Force Awakens at the box office worldwide.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So
It's a heck of a year for Marvel with that and Black Panther.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had Deadpool. I mean, Deadpool's what 300 million domestic, so it's probably
Almost.
So
Yeah,
is
it's
that
like
one still doing
294.
well? I haven't paid attention.
It's doing okay. It's not gonna reach. I mean it might make what the first one made, but it also costs double. I mean right now it's $690 worldwide, which is not terrible.
It costs 110 to make.
Well,
It costs 110 to make.
right, the first one cost 60 to make, and it made almost 800.
Right, but
Still, I mean, it's not. I mean, when you start talking percentages, it's not as big, but that's still a.
No, it's huge. Yeah, no, I'm not saying anything bad about it. Just
that's
Incredibles 2, making 180 million opening weekend.
well, what did you think that was going to do? I'm surprised it's that low, to be honest.
Yeah, it's an
I'm
animated
not.
film.
I mean, no animated film has made that much money. It's the highest
Yeah.
grossing animated film. I mean, Toy Story 3 only made like 130. I mean, animated films do well, but they don't do
that
top
number.
five
I'll tell you what,
all time.
I went to a theater that I've seen movies there on opening night that I've never had a problem getting a seat, and they had 2 theaters packed with people. Packed.
this is The Incredibles.
The
Yeah.
Incredibles too. It's amazingly good. So
I loved it.
I have not been yet.
Of course
Molly
not.
and Martha went to see. Slept through half of it.
Oh my god!
Molly loved it. So
did she go and have a seizure because they just put out a seizure warning? What was it, a couple of days ago?
Yeah.
And I could see it being.
what did you guys think of the short at the beginning?
Oh, great!
You liked it.
I
I
loved
thought it
it.
was good. I didn't think it was great.
Martha thought it was weird. She was like, I don't know. That made it set the tone for her.
It's strange, but I mean, just the animation on it is pretty good. I don't know. I thought it was.
No, and I like.
I always like them. So
I like that they're Disney's taking these shots at trying to evolve their animation and utilize like other cultures. And I think that's what Bao was about. Showing that. But it wasn't one of my favorite shorts that they've done. I really liked was it Feast? I really liked
What was the volcano one?
Volcanoes.
Yeah, that was pretty
Lava. That was called Lava, wasn't it?
So
Yeah.
I mean, there's some really good ones there. I mean, I think this one is a good one. I mean, probably win, animated best short because that's what they always do when they put these out.
Right.
But, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, because I always like what they do with animation in those.
Mhm.
They take some risks, they do some new things. I mean, that's where we first saw like what Pixar was up to.
right.
You know, that was my first exposure was through one of the shorts, and it was like, wow, this is really cool. So speaking of Disney, another big thing. Now I can't pull up the names. Maybe I can. Pete Docter and Jennifer Lee have been tapped to lead Pixar.
Yes, yeah,
And Walt Disney Animation Studios.
yeah.
So Laster
that's
is
good.
really, really out.
Yeah,
I think this is the perfect reaction to that. A male and female, both of them have done incredible work. I mean, Frozen and what's the other one? Inside Out. Just
great,
complete pieces of work that usher kind of a new era for Disney and for Pixar. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, and Pete Docter's been there since 1990, I think it said. So yeah, I mean, he knows the company.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean that's pretty awesome news. Alil, to see the stock go up when that was announced.
Yeah, but I mean, it needs to go up higher, so the Comcast cash flow can't match.
Yeah,
it.
no kidding. So what do you think is happening there? I know that the Disney the rumor is Disney's going to throw some cash into the deal.
Yeah, well,
Do you think it's going to happen? I think it's going to happen.
yeah, it's going to happen, and it's going to be better value for Fox because the problem with the $65 billion that Comcast is offering is the taxes on that. On the stock, they're not going to get taxed as high, so they'll get
Right. Plus the potential
55.
is greater.
to grow. Yes,
Yeah.
and they'll be leads, and they'll continue to grow their money. So they're going to get the 55. The 55. What I think will happen is Comcast is really looking for that international piece that Fox has. I forgot what it's called. Sky. Keep wanting to say Skynet, but I know that's Terminator. So it's not
No,
that.
you're right.
You're right.
It's Sky. It's Sky.
Skybox. No,
Skydance?
Sky. No, Skydance is a production.
Sky Masterson.
No, they have a huge European television system. It's in England and all over Europe and like Russia and stuff.
So my thinking is I'm gonna see they could either flip that to Comcast as like the promise to let them back this out, put up the cash for this, or even just split the assets right there. Just say if you want to offer $20 million to them, because that's what Fox added that to the deal because they wanted to get rid of that. I don't think Disney wanted that because Disney's looking at their percentage in Hulu and all their content.
Right.
Because either they're going to make their own thing or they're just going to take over Hulu, which would make sense at this point.
No, actually, the way I understand it, what I've read is that they would still continue with their thing and keep Hulu as kind of a value version where they can also do more adult content, so that the Disney one would hold the Disney branded stuff. It would hold the Marvel, Star Wars, all of that would go over there. And then Hulu, they can mine just like they do with the animation. If you look at their animation studios, they mine all these foreign studios and then release them under the Disney banner here. So like all that I can't think of his name, Studio Ghibli. All that Studio Ghibli stuff is released under the Disney banner here in America. It gets put out that way. They basically search the globe for animation that they want to put out. They don't Disney film, but they control all of that. Well, by having Hulu, they can take all this foreign content, be it TV shows, be it whatever. They can put original content that doesn't fit their brand and dump it on Hulu. And now they've got even more content and potential advertising money to play with. So I think they would keep Hulu and start their own thing. I've heard that's kind of what, at least that's what they're kind of toying with. I would like to see it go that way. Yeah, that would be that could hurt Netflix, actually.
That really could. Yeah.
That might be what they wanted to do as well because of the bad blood that they got in with Netflix. So, pull the Defenders and stuff off. That's a Hulu now original. Give them more content from Marvel and Star Wars.
Right.
Because some of that stuff they want to make it a little more adult. Keep all the kiddie stuff with the Disney, whatever.
Well, they did Runaways on Hulu, and I'm telling you, Runaways is fantastic. It stands with those Netflix shows as far as what they're doing. I think that Disney getting Hulu and bone over there, maybe throw like a Runaways or something that's outside of their TV MCU over there, and
there's no TV MCU.
No, but they might develop it that way. Now they don't have to spread across all these platforms.
Yeah,
true.
Now they're just trying to get a foothold all these places. Well, here we got a foothold. We got what we want. They can put. They would probably even get rid of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the ABC stuff. I know they're already going to dump it, but they wouldn't need to go on ABC with that kind of content. You want Marvel stuff, you got to buy Disney. And if you want the B Marvel stuff like Runaways, which doesn't really tie in, you've got to get Hulu. In other words, open your wallet.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But and also you got to look at this deal. I know that Fox is doing it for their bottom line, and Comcast will probably come up with more money. But the potential for them to make money if they still have a part of it is going to be huge because Disney will explode it. Disney will grow the brand where Comcast does not have that same outlet that Disney does, or the goodwill, or they snap their fingers and throw out $1 billion movie. Comcast doesn't do that. They're great cable wise. They're great like that, but they're not movie producers, and they never will be like that. So
yeah.
Although they are, doesn't Comcast own like Paramount or something?
No, they own Universal.
It's not, but it's but it's own it, but it's not the same. I mean, Universal has great projects. That's very true, but
yeah, but how much you wonder how much they control? Because if they took over Fox, they have the same problem with Fox unless they get their real hands on. And Universal might be kind of hands off and let it just develop.
And what are they going to do? Take Fox
Disney
Searchlight?
Takes control.
Are they going to take Fox Searchlight and make that better? I don't think so. I don't think they can. I don't think they can because Universal was there and they just bought it. It's there, but Universal doesn't have $4 billion properties. They have 1 or 2, right?
Right.
Well, they got Harry Potter.
That's Warner Brothers.
Jurassic.
They have Jurassic World and Jurassic Park franchise. They've got the Fast and the Furious franchise, which is their other billion-dollar franchise. Minions is another Universal franchise that's hit the billions.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, Harry Potter's Universal, isn't it?
No, it's Warner Brothers.
Warner.
It's just at Universal Studios. They just like Avatar's right now at Disney, but that's a Fox property.
Right.
I mean, so but none of those have Star Wars legs or Marvel legs. So, and Mickey Mouse, you got the ears. I mean, that's.
I can make the argument, and I don't want to, but I can make the argument that both the Jurassic World movies and the Fast and the Furious movies have those type of legs. If you look at over 7 movies, how much they made.
The Jurassic Worlds do, but Fast and the Furious, their legs are getting weaker. People really bit into the last couple, but you're getting along in that series where I have a feeling it's going to diminish very quickly. It's going to play out.
See, that's the thing. I can't say that because they're already 8 movies in. I mean, if it was going to play out 8 movies in, not many franchises have that many movies.
You're telling the same damn story over and over.
But they're not. I mean, they're looking at a different story. There's already spin-offs being talked about. Believe me, don't make me defend the Fast and the Furious franchise. I'm not in love with it, but you're making
Mission Impossible.
Hashtag DC a little.
Mission Impossible is under Paramount.
Paramount. Okay.
That is so up and down. Although
up and down, are you kidding? It was only down in episode. Well, 1 was all right. 2
was down, and
3 was excellent. 3, 4.
No, 3 was a good movie, but they were, one of them didn't do that well, and it's not. It's still great. Trust me, I'm going to go.
I heard this new one is that last one was amazing. Ghost Protocol. Oh my gosh! And I heard this one's even better. Like the buzz on it is that it's even better.
I should catch up on those.
Yeah.
You have so much. Quit your job, Scott.
Yeah. Domestically, they don't do that great. Just
those are international films, though.
They're solid, but they're not the greatest.
International films.
No, they are. They are targeted at the international market. It's just like the identity films.
Still don't do that.
What they do in America is
they're not $1 billion films. They're $500 million.
Yeah, but they make bank overseas,
and they will make the overseas money. I'm telling you, it happened with the overseas bank.
For a movie like that, how much do they cost them?
150 to 200 million.
For Tom Cruise.
So basically, they're a little profitable at this point. They're not because the thing is the foreign. I don't want to talk about box office. The formula, foreign money when it comes in costs more, so they get less of the pie than they do domestically. It's why Disney is really stronghold in a lot of the retailers here because they get a bigger piece of the pie.
Right.
When you're looking at the money domestically, you're looking at 40% to 50% stays with those because it's the box office. They're not getting 100% of those proceeds. The AMC and all those, they make money off these movies as well.
Right.
Overseas, they're making 40 to 50%. Here domestically, it's 25 to 35%. So there's more. So if you're making 500 million overseas, they're making 250 here, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Well, isn't it skewed on opening week? They get all the money, but it slides over time. Or is
it depends again on the movie. Like that's some of the things what Disney was doing with The Force Awakens.
Yeah,
they were like, within the first 2 weeks they get the bigger piece of the pie, and then as time goes on, it's less and less. But it's not. I don't think it goes beyond like 35%.
Yeah. So I'm looking at it just to throw it out there. 3 was just under 4. 1 was at 4.5 or 450 million. 2 was at 550, and then the other 2 were near 700 million worldwide. So you're right. You're right along the lines a little. It's like 2.8 billion over 5 movies.
Yeah, and that's 5 movies, so you're looking at probably close to $1 billion to make them. And if you're looking at the break-even point, it's 3 times, and they're probably at a break-even point.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, there's inflation and stuff. There's all that stuff in there.
Right.
Somebody's making some money, but it's not anywhere any of the big tentpoles are. Like this is
the Marvel movies make.
This isn't video, right?
Yeah.
This is just box office.
just box office. Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you guys see that? I don't know if you're a fan of Invincible, but Invincible got picked up by Amazon as an animated series. You read Invincible?
No.
Is that his book, or is
Yes.
he just producing it?
No, it's his.
Or is
Yes.
he just producing it?
No, it's his book, and it is fantastic.
Yeah, see, he did a good job.
It is really, really great. I've been waiting. Like somebody has to do something with this. It's just he was such a huge hit with Walking Dead that's what everybody assumed he did. Like that's what Hollywood looked at. And then when they came clamoring, they wanted something more like Walking Dead, so they did Outcast. And isn't that what it's called, Outcast? And
yes,
then
I believe.
And then his production company helped with Fear the Walking Dead. So his superhero stuff, he has other books. He has Tales of Wolfman or something that's really good. But Invincible it's outstanding.
Is it Watchmen like, or what is it like? Or is it just
say it's Watchmen like?
Is it X-Men kind of ripoff? I hate to not say ripoff, but something like
no,
it.
No, you have to read it. I mean, it's kind of like starting over a superhero story. If I remember the first book, God, it's been a while. Because as you get further in, you kind of forget what happens. But I believe that it starts out with him, like his dad had been a superhero, and he finds this out, and he finds the suit, and he puts it on, and he's got the powers, and it's like gritty and violent, and just it's really great. It is kind of like Astro City. Like he would be a character in Astro City, which is another one that somebody should pick up today. I'm really happy about this. I'm really happy they're doing animated if they get it right. If it looks like those Thundercats videos, I'm not going to be that happy.
Yeah.
If it looks like the comic, this is going to own us for a while. Alil, have you ever read Invincible?
No.
No, you don't read. It's really good. God, you make me crazy.
I'm sorry. I don't have the time to read everything.
I know a little. So yeah, that's going to be a good one. Now we talked about it last week. We've got they did Invincible. Oh, they also announced they're doing Wheel of Time. That's crazy.
When?
They just announced it. You didn't see this?
I did not see this.
We must have been talking about it on This Week in Geek. Yeah, they. So I was talking about it on something about how they had announced they're doing. Yeah, Amazon picked up Wheel of Time, and they're doing the time series. And the thing is, MTV had the rights before that, and they actually produced a pilot.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was awful.
When they aired it at like 3 a.m. unannounced, just because their contract was about to run out, they're like, "We got to get this on the air." So they threw it out there, and it was awful.
Right.
And it's not as it's worse than Shannara, and Shannara turned out pretty bad. You know, so I think.
See, I didn't think it was that horrible. Was it great? No, but was it bad?
No, it could have been great. And I think that's another one. Like if this deal with Wheel of Time works for Amazon, I would not be surprised if Amazon didn't do a full court press to try to get shit from MTV.
Well, you know what?
They're not going to do any more Shannara.
Shannara doesn't have the legs that Wheel of Time does. Wheel of Time's got 8 huge books or 9 huge books.
Isn't it 12?
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, and even
huge too. Like each book is like could be 2 seasons.
Oh yeah, well, and there's it's very much like The Hobbit. There's like different divergent stories happening all at once. It's good, and even when Brandon Sanderson took over the last 2 books, they were right in line with what Robert Jordan did. So
yeah, I
think it'd be great if they could pull this off because it's a great story.
So I mean, think about it. They've got Lord of the Rings. They've got Wheel of Time. They've got Invincible. They've got The Tick. They've got Miss Maisel, which if you guys haven't watched that,
that's fantastic.
Fantastic.
Absolutely unbelievable how good that is.
Everyone talks about Netflix, but Amazon is putting together one hell of a lineup.
Hmm.
I'm in big. Now what they need to do is get this little podcast group and have them do a talk show about this stuff. And here's the best part. To my knowledge, none of us are going to end up with a Me Too hashtag afterwards. So you've got a show that's going to run without the controversy. I wonder what that was a reference to.
Yeah, no kidding. No, absolutely. I would. I'm reading this. I'm excited now because I've loved those books. And it's weird. That's one of it was. I think I've told this story. I'm not trying to get off the track, but I remember people recommending this book to me or this series, and I couldn't get past like the first 50 pages because it was really tough to get going.
Dense. But then I even tried the audiobook, and the audiobook, you're like, oh my God.
Well, somebody goes, if you can get to page 75, you're going to make it. So I just read it and said, I'm going to read the first 100 pages. Literally page 72. I'm like, this is the greatest book I've ever read. It was amazing. And then, I was hooked after that. So
there was a point in the audiobook where it probably is about that same point because it's so dense. Are you breaking it down over there, Scott?
That's not me.
That was somebody. There's this point in the audiobook where, it's so dense. It's so much like backstory stuff about, and then all of a sudden things start for the characters. And all of a sudden you realize as you're listening to the audiobook, you're like, oh, I'm actually invested in this character that they named 800 people.
Right.
And
it's
there's
when
one
you
guy
meet
I'm
the first
carrying.
half man and you're like, I would love to see that just on screen. It's kind of like, The Walking Dead, the first time you see a horde of zombies and you're like, oh my God, this is fantastic.
Yeah, right.
That's what got it for me was that scene where Rick's under the car and it's been 8 years. So there's no spoiler. And this horde walks by and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This is the greatest thing. So
that was other news. They announced season 9 is going to be the last season for Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And Shane's coming back.
Yeah, but how?
Flashbacks.
It's got to be flashbacks.
Is this going to be the season of all the regret, which there's got to be a ton? Yeah.
Regrets?
Probably because
they've had a few.
Yeah.
You say this, I zoned out when you guys were talking books, but it's also then they're doing an 8-part animated series for The Walking Dead as well.
Are they? I didn't read that.
Yeah, they've been.
Who's doing that?
Are they calling it The Drawing Dead?
Yes. No, it's the artists from the comic.
Oh, cool.
Kurtzman and all those guys.
Cool. All right.
So it looks like it's going to be an
AMC,
8-part series.
Like
I don't know yet. I don't think they announced it. They've been. I think it's through AMC. Picked up to do like an 8-part series, all in animation. I don't know if it's going to be after, or if it's going to be kind of like more of a retelling of the comic, in a sense, rather than the show. Following that.
The comic was close enough to the books for quite a while that it would feel like a real recap to a point.
Yeah,
so they better move
to
that 8-parter along pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because you're going to lose all your surprises,
Mm-hmm.
But you could certainly tell a side story, like even like the Telltale game with the girl, and great surprises, and like people are like waiting for the girl to show up on The Walking Dead. Speaking of which, anybody here watch?
Game got boring.
Anyone watch it? The second one did. The first one I loved. Anyone watch Fear the Walking Dead?
Nope.
First 2 seasons, I couldn't get past it after that.
That's where you made a mistake. This season has been as good as the best season of the regular Walking Dead.
So is this a prequel or a sidequel?
Sidequel.
Well,
although it's caught up now in this season.
Oh, okay.
So Chris, because Morgan is on.
Morgan's on it. So how does Morgan get from Georgia to LA or Mexico?
He leaves.
Well, I know he leaves, but how does
they show him? It takes him a while. By the time he gets to Texas,
was that where
they are? It's been years since the original Fear the Walking Dead cast. They are like in a brand new place, community, and they even make reference to like, we've been here, like we were in this spot, and this spot, and this spot, and there's spots we never even saw. Right. And they're naming all this, and they're like, and we've been here for like 3 years. So they really jumped it so that when Morgan gets there, it's been a while since he left Alexandria.
Sure.
It's really cool. Such a good show. And Garrett, is his name Garrett Dillahunt? Gilbert Dillahunt.
Uh-huh.
You ever watch Raising Hope?
Mm-mm.
I love Raising Hope.
Okay, the dad, who's awesome, right? He's hilarious.
I love him. Yeah,
he is like a cowboy here. He's like a guy who he's like been living on his own
really.
through the zombie apocalypse. He had been in a Wild West show. It was just kind of his thing because they're in Texas. So like he walks around with a cowboy hat. He's got the guns and everything, and it's just he's amazing on this show. Amazing. Yeah, it's so good. As much as that last season of Walking Dead, people were really dropping off, and I have a feeling season 9, unless they really pull it together, it's the last season, man. And we know Rick is leaving. It could be a mess.
I don't think it'll be a mess. I mean, look at most of the shows that actually last season. I think they do a pretty good job wrapping it up. I mean, because they're gonna go all out. You know what I mean? Like this is the end. You know, they want to get the ending, and I think they're gonna do a good job with that. I actually just tagged back out because I don't care what I missed. Through social media you hear, I know who's dead and alive, so it's not like I need to see it again. But yeah, I might.
I don't know. I've enjoyed every episode all the way through. I've been a big fan.
Yeah. I don't know. I think after what's 5 or 6, I kind of just started fading out of it. It just got too much of the same old. I mean, when a show gets like that, and I get it because I read the books. I read a lot of the books. It's more about the people than the zombies and stuff like that. But I would like a little bit more switch up.
They stretched out the Negan storyline too long.
They did.
That's where they lost a lot of people. If they had done that in one season, that storyline in one season, it would have been the best season, and we could have gotten on with what goes on after that. It would have been awesome. But they stretched it out for a good 2.
Well, it's because they got Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and he's a name, and
yeah, but it took him a whole season to get through 3 lines. He really chews those up, man.
I should watch this show, I guess.
What do you
mean this show that we're on right now, Scott? Rick? You should watch this show and listen to it, Scott, as well.
Where's Carl?
Carl.
No, see, I'm doing that's like one of his lines. It's that long. Carl,
because he got hit in the head with a bat too many times. I
think. and for Jeffrey Dean Morgan because he's awesome. He's Batman's dad.
He is.
So is Lauren Cohan.
You know what sucks? You know what sucks? Speaking of him, because of this disaster with the DCU, and now they're scrambling. You've heard about this too, right? How they're actually talking about just because of the whole Matt Reeves recasting Batman. They've got these 2 Joker films. They've got all this stuff. They're kind of they're in this state of we could be witnessing a reboot, in live action time, we're just going to ignore these that we did. But Wonder Woman's the same. But in the DCEU,
Wonder Woman,
DCEU, Jeffrey Dean Morgan was Batman's father. And if they had done Flashpoint, we would have seen Jeffrey Dean Morgan play Batman, because when Batman goes through time, his dad isn't killed and his dad becomes the Bat. And it's this great story.
When the Flash goes through time, Batman.
Right. When the Flash goes through. Sorry. Is it?
That's what this is going to be.
Is Doc Brown going to be in it? That's in the Libyans?
Possibly.
Flash 86. Are we going to get that?
I don't want to talk about Wonder Woman 84 because I don't understand why they're bringing back Steve Trevor. I don't understand how that's happening.
Why are they doing that? Why are they making it in 1984? Other than they think they're capitalizing on the old Wonder Woman thing. That was the 70s. They're just trying to do a thing, but
because they've screwed up.
Here's the problem.
Isn't that what Captain Marvel's going to be in the mid 80s?
But
Captain Marvel's in the 90s.
She wasn't around after she did her World War I stint. They imply that she went undercover. She was gone.
Well, exactly. Batman said in Justice League that she went into hiding after losing Steve Trevor. Didn't show up, and now.
Right. And now she's here.
They're fixing the continuity with that.
And they're having her with.
Just forget Justice League ever happened.
And they're doing all these goofy things with her. I hope it's good because I thought the first one was a lot of fun, but I'm nervous about this.
Yeah.
We've got the right. I mean, it's still Patty Jenkins. She knows what she's doing. I got to put faith in that. But if the studio got in there and was like, okay, you know, it made all this money and did everything right, now we're going to tell you how to do it, we could be seeing something terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all thought that Joss Whedon, after he did Avengers, that he couldn't do wrong in Avengers and Age of Ultron, but
he did.
You fell asleep.
I fell asleep, and I've gone back and watched it multiple times, and it's got moments, but it's not good.
Yeah, it's not.
Infinity War is significantly better.
Well, of course.
Winter Soldier is heads above Ultron, like ridiculous.
Winter Soldier still might be the best movie.
I agree.
Where does that come in the watching order? Because we just did Iron Man 3.
I don't want to talk to you, Scott.
You
just watched Iron Man 3.
You got 47 more.
Yeah, but isn't it right after Iron Man 3?
Well, yeah, or Guardians. Guardians comes out after Iron Man 3. If you go through release schedule.
And second Thor.
So you're doing release schedule. So wait, I thought Guardians came out after Winter Soldier.
No, you got it's Iron Man, and then it's Guardians of the Galaxy.
All right, I'll Google it. I'll Google it.
I'm looking it up.
Marvel movies in order. Okay, according to Cineworld UK.
Why are you looking at the UK releases? There are different
Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2.
It's Iron Thor, Dark
First
World.
Avengers.
Yeah, okay, so it's Iron Man
3,
Thor,
the Dark World, Winter Soldier,
then
then
Guardians. Yeah.
Okay.
Then Ultron, our favorite, and then Ant-Man.
Well, I enjoy the movie. It
just isn't as good.
I just remember because if you think about when we did Enough Said, Jack and I were doing the show together at that point, and that was before you came on, and they did the Thor episode that tied it to Dark World earlier in the season, and in the second half, it ended with everything that ended up going into Winter Soldier. And Guardians hit later that summer.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
And then
I can't believe Guardians is 4 years old. That's amazing to me. It seems like it was yesterday. I mean, I know 2 was just out, but it seems like that was...
Well, it's going to be 5 years old, isn't it?
Huh.
It's 2014. So it's...
Oh, that's right. You're at 18.
It's 4 years and...
I don't even know what day of the... Yeah, I'm pulling a Rob today. Like, I don't know anything.
still holds
Dates
up,
are
though.
gone.
Well, I can't believe Iron Man, the first one's 10. That's insane.
Yeah.
Yep. And the Hulk had their 10th anniversary. The Incredible Hulk also
last
came
week.
out in June. Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy. Let's see. What else did we have?
Pokemon Go.
Oh my God.
Do it, Scott.
Go for it.
Pokemon Go is finally getting trading. You will finally be able to trade your Pokemon with other players. Finally. This was something that was teased in the launch trailer.
After 90% of the people dropped off, now you can trade?
Yeah, you know, they've a while back earlier this winter, they started doing community days, which is my next thing. So once a month, they'll pick a Pokemon, and for 3 hours, the spawn rate of that Pokemon will be like 300% of whatever it was. And it'll just pop. And if you catch and evolve one, Squirtle is the next one, July 8th. And the last one is
I have all the Squirtles.
But you have a higher chance of getting a shiny. And then also, if you catch and evolve one during this event, you get an exclusive attack move. So we've been going out to every community day, and you just crank up a bunch of them, and then you evolve a really good one, and you get an exclusive move for fighting in your gyms. So trading is coming, and then the next community day is July 8th, which is going to be Squirtle. So that's some good news. You know, we this last one was last weekend, and it was Larvitar, and we went to I don't know what it's called, but it's a park in Schaumburg with. It's got the Oberweis there, and it's around the little pond and
Town Square.
The town square there,
Yep,
and it is covered. it is covered every community day, and so there's still a community of people playing out there. There's enough people keeping it going. But sometimes it'll be I'll log in for 5 minutes a day just to get a login, and then like on these events, we're out for several hours doing stuff. So yeah, Pokemon Go still going strong.
All right.
Yeah, we get the raids across the street from our house because we got a gym. So not that I play much, but it's good. But we'll pull up and there'll be people park on the street, and I'll yell at them and be like, "Move your car." And they're like, we got to fight. I don't care. Move your car.
Off my lawn.
Well, I mean, no, they park literally in the middle of the street.
Oh
so
my
they
God.
can get in on the raid. It's like, you can move your car.
Yeah. But
Chris just sits there looking out the window, tapping on it. Get out of here!
Taking his fist. Get off my lawn.
Because I appreciate them playing, but I don't appreciate them literally parking in the middle of the street so you can't get by. That's all.
Yeah. You got to stay off to the side. We make sure we're always off to the side or parked somewhere and out of the way of everybody else, because especially the community days, you get a lot of people in one place.
Downtown Elgin's the same way. There's just tons of people out, so walking around. Although this heat was not good, conducive to Pokemon Go.
Yeah, we got pretty hot. We were only out for like 2 hours out of the 3, and we were sweating pretty hard when we got back in the car. So, the other news, can I go on?
Yes.
Magic the Gathering core set is returning. So they dropped the core set after 2015. Nice reprints, including Crucible of Worlds, Scape Shift, Omniscience, Nexus of Fate, a lot of the El Dragons. So Nicol Bolas gets a new card, Palladiumors, Vivectus Asmati, Chromium. There's a new, and then what was really awesome is released today, a cycle of 6 new horses. That is the most horses they've ever put in any set in all of 25 years. This has 6 horses, 1 for each color and a colorless. And they each have a ability. So horse tribal fans, here you go. Core set 2019. And it drops, I believe, July 13th.
All right. Get your wallets open.
Yep.
You'll be there, right, Scott?
I absolutely will. Up and getting the computer and stuff together in the last couple of turns, because we got in 2 quick games before we got in. It was we've been playing with the last set, Dominaria, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of really cool cards in the last set they did. So it's the game's back on an upswing. It kind of has its ups and downs, but Dominaria and this upcoming core set look like they really got their groove back.
Cool.
Well, I see over your shoulder. There's room for 1 deck right next to in between your SpiderMan, or between SpiderMan and Deadpool behind you. Fit it in.
Maybe
right in there.
Right there. Yep.
Right
there.
The decks are all over the place. Yeah. Teresa,
she's mad at you're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
So, anyone got anything else?
Did you already got the Bumblebee trailer?
We
the last couple weeks?
Did you enjoy it?
I liked the look of that. I
So
have
did
not. Yeah, the Michael Bay movies. I've watched parts of the first couple ones, and I just cannot get into them at all.
No, they suck.
But I watched this one for Bumblebee, and this looks like the original cartoon that we grew up with in the 80s. It has that feel. It has that heart. Bumblebee looks like a Transformer. And I think maybe they have found where they need to be with this franchise. It's
I hope so.
They're robots, but they have feelings. They have hopes and dreams, all that. But yeah, I think this one has heart.
Cool. Yeah, we all agreed. We all enjoyed that, and we enjoyed the Halloween trailer.
Yes, that
speaking of horror, did you guys see that Ewan McGregor is going to play Danny Torrance in the Shining sequel? So they're going back. They're going to do Doctor Sleep, that sequel to Shining. It's supposed to be a great book. I haven't read it yet, but
no, I got to that.
Ewan McGregor is always a good time. So,
oh yeah, absolutely.
I think that's a great choice. And podcast news.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm probably the most podcast heavy of the group here. I listen to everything I can get my hands on. I binged S-Town. Have you guys heard S-Town yet?
I've heard of it.
Great series. It was only like 6 episodes. And when I say great, it's like some of it's, you just kind of go like, why am I listening? And then by the end of the episode, you're like, God, give me the next one. It's so good. Tom McCarthy from Spotlight is going to be directing a film adaptation of S-Town. So one more podcast property getting made into something mainstream, which is pretty freaking cool. Because, we talked about when Lore was going to Amazon, and I probably complained about it because, it's not something we created. And I was wrong because it's freaking awesome on Amazon. I love it. And so I saw this and I'm like, you know what? This is awesome. Kick that door wide open until Amazon wants to hire a little podcast to do all of its geek news. Just throwing that out there.
Oh, is this the one a man named John despises his Alabama town and decides to do something about it?
It's great. Yeah. Well, I don't want to say anything. It's just really a great listen. It's really interesting too, because when you're listening, Leave, it was going to be like they were scouting for the next serial, I think. Right. They had this story. They're like, oh, let's go check this story out. And they fell into this other story. It doesn't fit like Serial or anything like that. But instead, it's this really great like character study. And you get so into it. Like it's great. And it's one season. I think it's like 6 or 8 episodes. And that's it. Won't be another one. So, I don't know. That's podcast news.
So I can get 3-4 seasons out of that, right?
Oh, sure.
We can milk that forever. So
I think that's all I have. Do you guys have anything else?
Nope.
I think it's it.
All right. All right. Well, let's end it. Who wants to give their social media first?
I am on Tumblr and Twitter as Scotty Smurf.
Cool.
I'm on Twitter at LOGEEKZ, the League of Geeks.
And I can be found at theblueboxcafe.com. Also, Alil and I, if you're in the Chicago area, are going to be hosting a little, I don't want to say smallish, it's a startup Comic-Con called GeeksCon, where we're bringing the geeks to you.
With a Z.
With a Z. It's going to be October 6th and 7th in Elgin, Illinois. Coming soon with our all of our Facebook and all that stuff, but it'll be under GeeksCon. Will be Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, plus geekscon.com.
Awesome. And then you can follow the show at SMG_TWIG. Find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter, find us on Instagram. Look up This Week in Geek. You can also go to our website, which is southgatemediagroup.com. And we have a ton of events and things coming up, too. We have September 29th, we have the Podcast Marathon, 4th annual, out at the Blue Box Cafe in beautiful Elgin, Illinois, now featuring ice cream. We also have at the Otherworld Theater in Chicago, which is the first science fiction and fantasy theater dedicated. We are doing a Women in Podcasting event. So we're going to be doing same date as Geeks. So make it a weekend. Do both. Let's see. What else do we have? We've got events coming up at Blue Box. We have a trivia game night coming up this Saturday. On the 7th, we have another MicroCon. It's our summer edition of the MicroCon out at Blue Box. And then we're hoping to get to some other cons and do some marathons, because Indie PopCon, even though we didn't have a ton of people in the room, it was great, man. The content is fantastic. You can find it on live at the Blue Box. Listen through. There were some great shows that day. And I think that's it.
One thing I will be posting here in a few minutes, that unmade Star Trek animated series on the Facebook page of This Week in Geek. So look for that this evening.
Excellent. All right. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much. And please share this with your friends. Follow us. You want to subscribe to the show, just click the subscribe button, whatever service you use. And we've got a lot more content coming. We are back on track. It's summer. It's time to make This Week in Geek what it should be. That's it. We're done. Have a great night. Enough said.
Enough said.